The NBA has had no shortage of legends, but when it comes to big men, two names stand above the rest: Shaquille O'Neal and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. One was a dominant force of nature, shattering backboards and defenders' spirits alike. The other was a graceful giant, mastering a shot so unstoppable it became his signature. So today, we're asking the question, who's the greatest big man in NBA history? The man master of breaking boards, or the master of hook shot? Buckle up, because this isn't just about stats. This is about legacy, impact, and how these two titans changed the game forever. When it comes to sheer physical dominance, few can even be mentioned in the same breath as Shaquille O'Neal. Standing at 7'1" and weighing over 300 pounds, Shaq wasn't just a basketball player, he was a wrecking ball. As one of Shaq's famous quotes, "I make people quit, they don't want none of this." It wasn't just his size though. Shaq had incredible agility for a man his size. He could run the floor, finish fast breaks, and deliver poster dunks that sent shockwaves through arenas. Shaq's iconic dunk on Chris Dudley wasn't just a highlight, but a powerful statement of dominance. With Dudley attempting to contest, Shaq bulldozed through him, sending him crashing to the floor before shoving him aside with utter disrespect. Dudley's frustrated reaction, throwing the ball at Shaq, perfectly captured the helplessness defenders felt against O'Neal's overwhelming power. This moment was more than just a dunk. It was a message to the entire NBA. Shaq was an unstoppable force, and no one could stand in his way.
The Spurs. This situation is also fragile. Despite all the talent, the Lakers are not a stable situation yet, and Rodman has destabilized it at times. Here's Shaq. Against Dudley. Nice!
Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move that Dudley could not even foul, and he just got overpowered.
During his unstoppable prime with the Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal didn't just lead his team, he dominated the entire league. From 2000 to 2002, the Lakers were an unstoppable juggernaut, steamrolling through opponents en route to 3 straight NBA championships. And at the center of it all, in every sense of the word, was Shaq. He wasn't just winning titles, he was being crowned Finals MVP 3 times in a row. That's the mark of pure greatness. But here's the thing, it wasn't just his sheer size that made him unstoppable. Shaq was 7'1", 325 pounds of pure muscle, a living nightmare for anyone who had to guard him. No one could match his physicality. Yet beneath that mountain of strength was a player with remarkable finesse. He had a soft touch around the rim that defied all logic for someone of his size. Imagine this, Shaq standing in the low post receiving the ball. The defender knows what's coming, a freight train of power. But then, instead of just bulldozing through, Shaq spins effortlessly, pirouetting with footwork that would make a ballerina blush. He finishes with a delicate, almost gentle kiss off the glass or a baby hook. Opponents were left dumbfounded. How could a man this big move that smoothly? And that's why Shaq was more than just a brute force. He combined raw power with elite skill. In his prime, he wasn't just playing basketball, he was imposing his will on the game. Defenders? Hopeless. Coaches? Scrambling. The league? Completely under his reign. Now let's talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Where Shaq was all about power, Kareem was all about finesse. At 7'2", he was just as imposing as Shaq, but his game was more refined, more cerebral. The Skyhook, the most unguardable shot in basketball history. Kareem perfected it, and to this day, no one has replicated it. The man made a career out of launching that shot over defenders. No matter how tall, no matter how quick, it's been called the single greatest weapon in NBA history. But let's be clear, it wasn't just about the Skyhook with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Sure, the Skyhook was his signature, the shot that no defender could touch, the move that cemented his legend. But Kareem had so much more in his offensive bag. He was the complete package, a towering 7'2" center with elite skills that made him nearly impossible to defend. Kareem was a phenomenal passer for a big man. He didn't just play with his back to the basket, he orchestrated the offense from the post, threading needle-like passes to open teammates. And his footwork? Immaculate. In an era where big men were often expected to stay near the rim, Kareem danced in the post. His moves, as graceful as they were, devastating. Defenders couldn't keep up with his agility, and they couldn't predict his next move. A spin, a pivot, a smooth up and under, Kareem had a counter for everything. And don't forget, this 7-footer could dominate in transition. Yes, a man his size running the floor, leading the fast break, finishing at the rim, or hitting his teammates in stride with pinpoint passes. His game wasn't confined to half-court sets. Kareem was a threat from anywhere on the floor. He didn't just adapt to changes in the game, he thrived. In those 20 seasons, he racked up 6 NBA championships and 6 MVP awards, a record that still commands respect. And then there's the crowning achievement. Kareem retired as the NBA's all-time leading scorer with 38,387 points, a record that stood tall for decades. For 38 years, no one could touch it, a testament to his skill, consistency, and unmatched dominance. He wasn't just a player, he was an era-defining legend who set the gold standard for greatness in the NBA. Let's talk longevity. Kareem played for 20 seasons. Think about that, 20 years of sustained excellence. He wasn't just a role player hanging on for dear life at the end of his career. He was a vital part of winning teams well into his late 30s. Even in the 80s, when the Lakers' Showtime offense was led by Magic Johnson, Kareem was still putting up all-star numbers. His ability to adapt his game, taking fewer shots but maintaining efficiency, was a testament to his basketball IQ. Shaq, on the other hand, had a much shorter peak. By the time he reached his mid-30s, injuries and weight issues slowed him down. While he remained a force with the Heat and even helped them win a title in 2006, the decline was noticeable. He became more of a journeyman in the final years, playing for the Suns, Cavaliers, and Celtics. Off the court, Shaq's impact was undeniable. From his charismatic personality to his ventures in music, acting, and even law enforcement, Shaq became a larger-than-life figure outside of the game. He embraced the spotlight and became a cultural icon. Who else could release a platinum rap album and star in movies like Kazam? And today, his legacy lives on through his work as an NBA analyst. Shaq's charisma and humor have made him a fan favorite in retirement, proving that his influence extends far beyond the hardwood. Kareem, meanwhile, took a different route. While Shaq leaned into entertainment, Kareem became a voice for social justice. He's written extensively on issues like race, religion, and politics, and used his platform to advocate for change. In 2016, Kareem was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. His impact wasn't just on basketball, but on society as a whole. Alright, let's get into the numbers. Kareem's resume is staggering. 6 MVPs, 6 championships, 19 All-Star appearances, and he held the NBA's all-time scoring record for 38 years with 38,387 points. He also remains the only player in NBA history to win Finals MVP honors 14 years apart. Shaq, meanwhile, wasn't far behind. 4 NBA titles, 3 Finals MVPs, 15 All-Star appearances, and 1 MVP in 2000. But here's the thing, Shaq was also named to the All-NBA First Team 8 times and finished his career with over 28,000 points and 13,000 rebounds. Shaq was quick to remind us that he was the most dominant force of his era, often saying, "I'm not going to say I'm the best player, but I'm the most dominant." And he wasn't wrong. When Shaq was at his peak, there wasn't a team in the league that could stop him. So who left the bigger legacy? Kareem's longevity and his skyhook revolutionized the center position. He paved the way for big men to be versatile, skilled, and dominant on both ends of the floor. To this day, Kareem is considered one of the greatest players of all time, not just the greatest big man. Shaq's dominance, however, is still talked about in reverence. He changed the way teams built their defenses, requiring multiple bodies just to slow him down. And in terms of cultural relevance, there's no denying that Shaq left a larger-than-life imprint on the NBA. In the end, it comes down to personal preference. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the master of longevity, the inventor of the skyhook, the 6-time MVP, or Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant force the NBA has ever seen, a larger-than-life presence on and off the court. So, who's the greatest big man of all time for you guys? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. That's for you to decide. Well, one thing's for sure, both of these legends changed the game forever. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video, and see you on the next one.